Chamberbrake here. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Today I'm doing dot training drills with my 375 Cheytac. Not something you would normally do, I assume. But as many of you have seen, if you watch my videos, I basically have to sit up and lay back down each and every shot based on the way that I shoot. I am a lefty, but I shoot right, and I load right, single feed load right. And so I try to implement stress conditions that will simulate a match so that I am removing even more variables that I'm implementing basically on how I shoot out of the equation. Basic fundamentals of shooting are incredibly important, especially in ELR or precision shooting of any kind. And then by me sitting up and laying back down, I'm adding even more variables. So I try to train those out of or reduce and mitigate those variables. Dot training is my favorite. I prefer to shoot the smallest possible circle all the time, or dot. I do not prefer to shoot at large targets and hope to hit them. I want to shoot the target and at something specific. So I actually use 22 long rifle targets to do most of my training, whether in any caliber. 375 is actually larger than my dots on some of these, which is great because that way I don't really need to group shoot today. I'm trying to shoot in each one of these dots while sitting up, sitting back down, and moving to a different target. And then the overall dot target here is probably my favorite. I do 5-shot groups, and then I have to let my barrel cool, but I try to do those quickly and efficiently, getting up and out of position and back into position each and every time. So that's what these are. These are dot shooting, or dot drills as I call them, or other people call them. I absolutely love dot drills. And today I'm only shooting at 100 yards. Again, I'm trying to reduce my variable, which is me, assuming that the gun is shooting well. I've had issues with this gun in the past, but I found something that's going to shoot and I think be able to compete with, and I'm trying to simulate those conditions today. It's about 85 degrees and it's going to be sunny probably at my next match, which is going to be the NRA match at Camp Atterbury, and I'm going to be actually shooting in the shade, just basically where my little range is here that I'm shooting today. I've noticed that the way I like to hold the gun, which is actually with a different bag, I take this out, put the smaller bag in, and drop the handle, this part here, down. I like to hold right here, and just because I do it differently, it's actually just a fundamental of shooting, and there's really no difference in somebody else being able to apply basically the same ideas, just differently. But anyway, I like to hold this and get into position and pull a trigger, and I like that extra feeling of control on the butt of the rifle. Unfortunately, as you'll see when I show the video of the shots down there, it's a mess. I mean, I'm applying all kinds of lateral pressure, diagonally, right to left, on the rear of the gun, and causing accuracy issues. So the way that I have shot for a long time is with a little bit more bag, a little bit more stable bag, because it's a little bigger. And basically our goal is we want the rifle to just come straight back and forward, which you've probably seen on other videos. Again, even though I do it differently, this is much more successful. So will this make me better at shooting in a match? I don't know. I could still do terrible at a match, but my goal is to continue to do better every day and ultimately get to a place where, probably not with this rifle, but maybe a different rifle, be able to shoot at least somewhat consistently at extreme distances, 2,500, 3,000. This rifle would probably do that, but I'd like to shoot 2 miles someday. And I want to continue to get better because your margin of error at those distances is minuscule. So if I can't shoot accurate at these ranges, then I'm not going to be able to shoot accurate at those ranges, because wind is just going to play all kinds of a factor anyway. But I need to take myself out of it. Let wind be the factor or the reason I miss, not the fact that I'm not behind the gun correctly, or that I'm not, using a fundamental of shooting in just a different way. So I'll shoot a couple here as I would normally, and kind of go from there as if it were a match in a 5-shot group. So, and again, I single feed, shoot left, squeeze the bag with the right. So there you go. here we are with 3 different positions and how those positions affected the shooting. Let's just assume that the gun is shooting correctly, and that's where we are. Okay, so this is 1, this is 2. My favorite position to hold that 375 is here. Okay, so from center is 0.78, 0.76, 0.46. Here's the other position, 0.65, 0.587, 0.351. Those aren't good. If my bullet's 0.375 and I'm going to try to shoot a 0.375 inch hole, then I need to be hitting the green circle. In both of those positions, I use more of my body to control the gun. So that's not good. And the first thing that we want to do is we want to blame the gun, or we want to blame our seating depth or our velocity or any number of things. But here is the exact same round. Everything's the same, except for I change my position and use what I prefer as a shooting style, which is low impact shooting, removing me from the gun and letting the gun do its job. And in this one, I've got 0.168, I don't know, that's the green circle. And then this one, I've got 0.129. So letting the gun do its job and taking me out of it got me those 3 shots. Me trying to control the gun got me these 6 shots. Only one of which actually even really cut into the 1-inch circle, which would have been, if I had shot this 2, 3, or 6 times in a row, I would have been shooting a 1.5 MOA gun, because this is 1 MOA right there. This, little different scenario. Had I shot those 3, they wouldn't be 1 hold, but they'd be pretty good. And, you know, there might be a little issue here that I can work on, but this is definitely where I want to go and then continue shooting for the day. So that's where it's at. Forward forever, backward never. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You got any questions or comments or anything you'd like me to talk about on any videos, I'd be more than happy to do that too. Otherwise, I'm Chamberbrake. Thank you. Enjoy.